how to replace the batteries into these call boxes made by RITRON. You will find this on construction sites, on mining projects, remote sites. We sell these ones to customers. They use on elevator shafts and construction sites. I'll show you kind of a quick way to replace the batteries. Normally you need a T25 security bit, a Torx security bit, because they use security head screws. But if you are into a situation where you don't have the right tool, you grab a flat screwdriver and you stick it here. And if the tech did not tighten this one too much, then you can get the screws out with a flat screwdriver. So I'll take those out and I'll come back. Underneath you will find the PC board and a battery connector. So what I do little modifications on these boxes in order to prevent the PC board damage. I found a couple of boxes that had component knocked off the board because the customer, generally construction site workers, they dump these boxes from some distance and the batteries come out and they hit these capacitors and other small parts and they rip off the PC board traces. So it takes some time for me to resolve the parts back if it's repairable. So what I do to prevent that, I resoldered this shield here on both sides, so it's solid, so it acts not only as a shield to the antenna which is behind, but also prevents these batteries to be pushed this way. If you drop the box onto this side, the weight of the battery, the inertia of the battery tend to push this thing and get the battery out. But this one prevents the battery because it's right against here. If you use the foam, if you don't use the foam, this is acting just as a radio frequency shield. But I've used this one as a mechanical way to hold the batteries in place, just extra stuff. And of course the foams I use here to keep the batteries tight into this space. Also, the manufacturer was supposed to write some notes here how to pull it, so I need to write for the next guy who need to replace battery. I need to write pull, so they don't need to wreck their fingernails. Just pull this tab and the battery comes out. So this is the first battery, and generally they leave this one like that and I put it on top. So what I do, I wrote put it under the battery. So this is the first battery to pull out and the last to push in. So it's easy. D-size batteries, use quality batteries. These guys, they use this brand, I don't know, I always replace with Duracell and they last maybe 2-3 years, depends on how often they use these boxes, but they are pretty durable. And other thing is I use some sort of O-ring to prevent the bolts to fall off. So when you take this one and if you're into a kind of a dirty place, dirt on the ground, rocks, if you drop the bolts on the ground like this guy almost falling off, then you keep looking around, where the heck my bolt fell. So these little O-rings keep these bolts in place. Then you put this thing back together the way you dismantled it, but don't forget to put the tab back into the battery. Already the bolt fell off. I found it because that one did not have the O-ring. Yes, so you need to follow the correct polarity. So the battery goes here, you push it a little bit, you have to push it a little bit harder. Why? Because the foams are creating some pressure on the side metal tabs that keeps the batteries in place, which is a good thing. And on top I put a piece of foam. If the batteries come out by greater force, it would not knock these things off, so kind of keeps a cushioning material on top. So that's it, it's easy. And yeah, get a spare bit if you have multiple these ones on site, multiple call boxes. Get a spare bit. Usually come with a bit with every sold bit call box, but it's good to have one stick kicking around. Talk to you later. Bye bye.